Welcome to The View on Women. I'm your host, Barbara Walters, but you can call me Barb. Today we'll be interviewing a women's rights activist named Betty Friedan. Please welcome Betty.
Woo! Yeah!
Yeah, Betty! Yeah!
Mama,
Look at her go!
Show, yeah!
Girl, get your digits! Hi Betty, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
So Betty, tell us a little about yourself and what you're doing.
Well, I have 3 beautiful children, and I was once married, but I'm now divorced. I was deeply dissatisfied with the role I was playing within my family, and so I decided to change it.
You've become quite the activist for women's rights. Tell us what you've done.
Well, you see, Barb, I started off writing for women's magazines, and then I started interviewing women all around, and I started discovering that they all had the same ideas I did. I wasn't the only one. And so when those magazines and interviews, they weren't enough, I wrote a book in 1963 called The Feminine Mystique.
Oh, in your book you called Women's Rights the Problem That Has No Name. Why'd you call it that?
Well, I just felt like it was a problem that nobody was addressing. And when I started researching, I felt that people were starting to see the same things I was and feeling the same way I was. So I realized it was a problem that nobody was naming.
Now Betty, your involvement didn't end with the book now, did it? What else did you do?
Actually, Barb, you are correct. I helped found this organization called the National Organization for Women, or NOW. And with this organization and others like it, we began to see a change in society, and it was really rewarding.
Now, thank you for coming on our show, Betty. Hope to see you soon.
You're very welcome.
When we return, there will be a new segment called He Said, She Says. After the break. And we're back. Today we'll be premiering our new segment we like to call He Says, She Says. What are your thoughts on women's rights movements?
Stay at home and take care of the family.
We have been improving our job opportunities due to the educational opportunities that have been given to us.
Stay at home because that's how it's always been. Why should it change now?
It should change now because now there's more income coming into the house, and that will improve the lifestyle.
How has the employment of women improved?
Let me just look at my facts. World War I and World War II brought more factory and clinical jobs, and starting in the 50s, the rate of women working in Western Europe, the United States, and Canada rose.
How has the improvement of the woman's role affected your family?
They could not perform their duties to the best abilities, children get sent to daycare earlier, and, divorce rates increase, which is never good. It's just not good.
I can't even believe you. It's not fair that women don't get the same opportunities as men, but men can come in and take over women's roles anytime they want.
And the fight continues next time. And now we will go to Star at the news desk. Thanks, Barb. Women's rights played a very impactful role in world history today. Many of the facts include: by 1930, women in most Latin America, India, China, Japan, and most of Europe had gained the right to vote. After World War II, newly independent African countries included women's suffrage into their constitutions. Fundamentalist Middle Eastern countries did not grant women the right to vote. Female access to political power was limited in most of Asian and African countries. Under communism, everyone was equal and women were given legal rights, including ones of inheritance, divorce, and childbearing, but gender issues still continued. China, one-child policy, and mandatory sterilization impacted women and female children. Sterilization also was common in India and Puerto Rico. So as you can see, women's rights is very important to world history. Back to you, Barb. Thanks, Star. That's our show. See you tomorrow.
Whoa. Hey. Whoa.
Am I right, girls? What'd you do?
Can't we go like one level?
Can I just like hide it in my...
I mean, you could do if you had note cards.
Stick it up your skirt. It's like a blanket. I'm gonna rip it in my own thing. Barbara free. You're Barbara. I'm Betty. Okay, I'll get it this time. No.
Skeptics mess with the confidence in my eyes. I'm seeing all the angles.
No, there's no home, really.
Start to compromise my life and my purpose. Is it all worth it?
And my aunt
Fine. Oh, you turn out fine.
I forgot about that.
Fine.
In your book, you called
You turn out fine.
women's rights.
You gotta keep your head up. Oh, and you can let your head down. Hey, you gotta keep your head up. Oh, and you can let your head down. Hey, I know it's hard. No, it's hard to remember sometimes, but you gotta keep your head up. Oh, and you can let your head down. Hey, hey, hey. Only rainbows after rain. The sun will always come again, and it's a circle, circling around again. It comes around again. I say only rainbows after rain. The sun will always come again, and it's a circle, circling around again. It comes around, but you gotta keep your head up. Oh, and you can let your head down. Hey, you gotta keep your head up. Oh, and you can let your head down. Hey, I know it's hard. No, it's hard to remember sometimes.
crap.
But you gotta keep your head up.
Thanks, Barb.
You can let your head down.